We're pleased to hook up with the leading rusher in the history of the National Football League. We say good morning to Emmitt Smith. How are you doing this morning, Emmitt?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Excellent. Thank you very much for joining us. What brings you to Toronto today?
Man, it is the opening day of NFL football tonight, and it is exciting times. We done made it past the summer and all the fake games, which is preseason games, and now it's time to kick it off tonight with Philadelphia and the Atlanta Falcons, and so I'm excited about this upcoming NFL season.
So, do you follow the game as a fan? Like, do you still bleed blue on Sundays cheering on the Cowboys?
I'm going to bleed blue for the rest of my life. So that has not changed. I'm excited. I love watching football. I love watching college football. I love watching professional football on Sundays. It's my way to relax and zone out for a whole entire day.
What are your thoughts on the Cowboys for the coming season?
I'm excited about him. I think when you look at Dak Prescott working out and training the way he has this year, lost a few pounds, throwing the ball still nicely, and you look at Ezekiel Elliott, who's had a tremendous offseason. No news is good news in that regards, and so I'm excited to see him get back. I think he's hungry. And the beautiful thing about this young team that the Dallas Cowboys actually have is that now they get to put their footprint and thumbprints all over this team and grow this team and lead this team in the way that they want to lead it. So there are a bunch of young leaders aspiring to be those great leaders, and I think the Cowboys have a chance to do that.
And one of the storylines of the morning in the NFL is the whole Le'Veon Bell story, and he is still not reported to the Steelers. You had a bunch of the offensive linemen, his teammates, that were really critical of him yesterday. This is one of the best running backs in the game. What's your impressions of how things are shaking out in Pittsburgh right now?
Well, things are not looking good because one of the best players that they actually have, and the player that can help them get to the Super Bowl, is not on the squad. And so I do understand how linemen can make it a statement, and that statement can be misconstrued and turned in a way to make it appears that the lineman is going against the player. I've been there, seen it happen to us in Dallas. And so I understand how those things can actually happen. But with this, there's no doubt in that offensive line mind that Le'Veon Bell is a tremendous asset to the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's no doubt to the Pittsburgh Steelers that Le'Veon Bell is an asset to that organization. And so I don't understand why owners always want to nitpick with the chemistry of a team, the psyche of a team, by singling out one of their best players who've earned the right to receive a quality contract.
We're talking to NFL Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith. Emmitt, you've been retired, hard to believe now, for almost 15 years. We talked about the fact that you have the rushing record. You also have the record for the most attempts in a career. If Emmitt Smith were to come to the NFL now, with the way that the game has changed, passing has become a bigger part of the game, do you think you would have received as many touches as you did when you ran in the game, 15 to 25 years ago? Yes,
because not only was I there on first, second down, I was also there on third down too, picking up blitz protection and running pass routes as well. So having that versatility is something that I thought was very valuable in the National Football League. It's something that I had to learn and grow into, and it's something that I preach to every football player. The more you can do, and the more you bring to the table, the more you're on the football field. The more you're on the football field, the more you're able to display your talent. And so I think it's extremely important for players to do that. But you also have to remain healthy. And nowadays, there's a lot more scientific information there to monitor players' health, their conditioning levels, and all those things play a major factor as well.
Yeah, I mean, how did you stay in the game so long, though? Because, I mean, you talk about today's advancements. There aren't many guys around playing 14, 15 years the way you did. How did you stay so healthy and have such a long career?
Well, only thing I can attribute it to is God's grace and mercy because, I trained hard. I took care of my body year in and year out. I got the proper rest. Obviously, I was well prepared mentally, physically for the game, and I was just blessed with just good health and not to sustain the major injury. And so those are the only things I can attribute to my longevity in terms of playing in the National Football League. Outside of that, everything else is just up in the air. Nobody knows the time, the place when things will come to an end.
We're talking to Emmitt Smith. I know we only have a minute or so left with the Emmitt, so let's look ahead to the coming football season and maybe give us some teams that you like, that you think have a chance to be there in February in the Super Bowl.
Well, first of all, let me just say this. There's a number of Canadian talent out there on the football field this year in the National Football League, period. And then you have, if you want your NFL gear, you got to go to NFLshop.ca to get that up here in Canada. So when it comes down to the teams, obviously we talked about a number of teams. I got to go with the veteran quarterbacks, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers are some of the names that mentioned. And then the Rams, you mentioned that at the top of the show. Todd Gurley running the rock, Zeke down there running the rock, and so many other. But the team to look out for me, is the New York Giants. I think with Saquon Barkley back there, there's a lot of things that can happen positive for the Giants this year. All
right, we'll keep our eye on the a Dallas Cowboy lifer liking the Giants. Is that hard to say?
Well, I love my Cowboys.
Okay.
Without a doubt. I love my Cowboys. I'm not saying I don't love my Cowboys, but the Giants have something different. It's something different when you have a player and a wide receiver in Odell Beckham, and you also have a veteran quarterback in Eli Manning, and a tight end that can stretch the defense and make things, create space. Sterling Shepard, third down back. It's just so much that the Giants actually have offensively. They could be a team to be reckoned with when you start looking at them overall.
Right. Good stuff. Really appreciate the time. Enjoy your time in Toronto, and thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Emmitt.
There's Emmitt Smith.